Haas. Haas takes a shot. Deflected in wood. Rubber. Blind the Eastern Washington Eagles. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Eagles Nest. I am your host, the voice of the Eastern Washington University Eagles on the ice, Tyler Pisani, and this week a very special BCIHL only Eagles Nest podcast. We'll talk with Tyler Zandhusen, a rookie for the BCIHL team, and we'll also get you caught up on everything happening with both teams. But before we dive into that, let's talk about the ACHA team. Next weekend, they are hosting the inaugural NPHC Conference Tournament presented by Barrel House Pub and Pizza. They'll have a pre-tournament party going down Friday night, February 17th, at Barrel House in Cheney. It's in the old Zentropa building. And players from most of the teams of the tournament, Portland State, Western Washington University, and of course the ACHA Eagles will be in attendance. A good chance for you to get out there and meet the players before they take the ice. Half-price tickets are available at the Barrel House up through Friday night. Just $5 get you in all weekend to every game of the NPHC tournament. Eastern Washington wrapping up their conference season or their conference schedule. 5 wins, 10 losses overall. They have 3 non-conference games coming up this weekend at Montana State for 2 games, Friday and Saturday, and at Montana Tech on Sunday before heading back to Cheney and spending a week getting ready for that tournament that they are hosting at the URC. Details on the ACHA team's Facebook page. But let's take a look now at the BCIHL team. They had a rough first half of the season. Second half of the season, though, definitely going their way. So far in the second half of the season, they've played 5 games, have come away with 2 wins and an overtime loss. Have 5 points on the season so far. Most recently, this last weekend, played 2 games in overtime, came away Saturday night with an overtime victory against the Selkirk Saints. And right now, joining us is the man that scored the game-winning goal for the Eastern Washington University Eagles against Selkirk. Number 3 for your BCIHL Eagles, Tyler Zandhusen. Tyler, let's just jump right into it. Give us your story. Where is it that you're from? Where'd you play minor hockey at? And what was it that brought you to Eastern?
All right, well, to start at the beginning, I'm from Spokane. Grew up in Spokane playing youth hockey for Spokane Americans and whatnot. And played my junior hockey over in Missoula, Montana, and had a blast playing hockey over there. And Eastern was the best school to come to in the state, so just been starting my career there so far.
Well, and that makes it pretty easy. You know, it's your first year with the team. Talk about what it's been like so far, just with this team and playing college hockey, and kind of how that compares to playing in juniors.
You know, at first I was a little hesitant about what the pace would be like and if I'd fit in the league and whatnot. It's turned out to be a pretty fast-paced hockey league with a lot of grit to it. You kind of have to show your own, if you want to play in the league.
And that's definitely true, at least what we've seen so far. This first half of the season didn't really go the way that the team hoped, and I'm sure that was a little bit discouraging, especially being your first year on the team. But the second half of the season is off to a pretty good start. The team seems to be clicking more, especially over these last 5 or 6 games. Talk about that a little bit. What's changed in the second half of the season? Did somebody say something at practice or in the locker room that kind of got you guys fired up?
It's real weird being in the locker room. We are definitely a different team now in the second half of the year. I think it helps seeing some of the other guys in the lineup that we missed in the first half, but it's crazy. We're all gelling together and working hard in practice, and I think it's really paying off for us in the games.
Well, and especially last weekend, you had a big part in that. Both games last weekend going to overtime. The second one you guys won, and it was almost directly related to you as you scored that overtime game winner. Talk about what that was like and walk us through that goal.
So, I was pretty excited because I haven't gotten to play forward much this season. I've been playing D. And I saw it as a chance for me to show Coach that I have what it takes to play forward. And I've been talking to the DL game about, hey, if you tripped off the glass, I can use my speed and probably pick it up and get a breakaway, if not make a good play. And I saw Breener going to chip the puck out, and so I just kind of timed it and went for it. And I got the puck and beelined like as if the guy was right behind me and lucked out and went in.
Well, that's definitely a something to be proud of, especially in a season like this. You guys are good at keeping your head on your shoulders. What's it like being in that locker room now? You mentioned that you guys gelled a little bit more the second half of the season. Who's somebody that you've been kind of looking towards for some guidance here as it's your first year on the team?
So the main guys that I kind of look at as the older guys on the team and look for advice and whatnot, probably like Brett Matthews or Karen Hawes or Kyle Blondin. They've all played pretty high-level hockey and definitely have some experience under the belt.
And those aren't bad guys to look forward to. We've had, I believe, all of them here on the podcast. But this season, there's 5 teams in the BCIHL. It was recently announced that next season they're going to add a 6th team. Vancouver Island is going to join the league. I know you've only been here for 1 season, but how do you see that changing the league?
I think it would definitely help us out here at Eastern quite a bit because having a new team in the league, it's hard for them to get players and to get their name all started, and we're just kind of getting ours set in stone, so I think we got a lot to look forward to.
Okay, and you've been good here answering all my questions, so we're going to have a little bit of fun here. We're going to play a couple of games. The first one, it's called 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I want to know 2 things that you think you're really good at and 1 thing that you can improve on.
Is this with hockey?
Yes, yeah.
I think I'm pretty good at skating and probably pretty good at shooting, but I definitely need to work on hitting the net.
Gotcha. Well, and those 2 things kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So here, as we head towards wrapping this up, I've got one more question for you. If you were out there on the ice and you could pick 4 players to play with, it doesn't matter if they're dead, alive, playing, retired, doesn't matter. Give me the 4 players that you would like to hit the ice with.
Probably Patrick Law, because you need a goalie, and Adam Deadmarsh, Todd Bertuzzi, maybe Gordie Howe from there, and Bobby Orr. I know it's 5, but you need a goalie, like I said.
That's true, you do. That's a good call. Well, Tyler, thanks for taking some time for us today. You guys have this weekend off. You don't hit the ice again until next Friday when you are at home at the URC, a Friday night matchup against Selkirk. Good luck in that game, and good luck the rest of the season.
Yes, thank you very much, and thanks for having me.
And there you have it, number 3 for your BCIHL Eagles, Tyler Zandhusen. The team is off this week, but they will be back at the URC next Friday night, kind of a precursor to the big NPHC conference tournament presented by Barrel House Pub and Pizza. That's going down at the URC. The BCIHL team plays 7:30 Friday night, a pre-tournament party going down at Barrel House directly following that on Friday night, and then the tournament happening at the URC on Saturday. Eastern Washington will play at 7 o'clock against Portland State University, and hopefully move on to play in the championship game Sunday. But we will keep you posted next week, an ACHA-only Eagles Nest podcast, as we talk about that tournament and get you excited for the inaugural NPHC Conference Tournament. For everybody at Eastern Washington University Hockey, I'm Tyler Pisani, and this is the Eagles Nest. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you at the URC.